Again, at that time, at that time period, initially Brahmins were very much sincere and devoted for their work. And what kind of work was given to Brahmins? They have to perform certain rituals called yagyas, right? Then they have given additional work of advising the ruler whenever it is needed. So you people would have seen in TV serials like भगवान राम बैठे हुए हैं, उनके चारों तरफ ऐसे बहुत सारे बाबा टाइप के बड़ी बड़ी दाढ़ी वाले सेंट टाइप के लोग बैठे हुए हैं, वो आर एडवाइजिंग द right. Next, they were having the work to provide education to the society in form of gurukulas. Now, coming to Kshatri, these people were given the liability to rule the society, right? Fresh, these people were liable to maintain trade and cultivation. All the agricultural activities and all the trade related activities were taken care by Vaishya people, and Shudra people need to perform other servitude job, which might include any kind of job like you are a mason, you are a washerman, you are a laundry person, or like you are cleaning the utensils at others' place, whatever. And remember, again, I am repeating, it was a Karmanya system during Rig Vedic or early Vedic time period. Means in this time phase, from 1500 BC to 1000 BC, it was a Karmaja system. Now, at the each stage of life, ashram, we call it brahmacharya ashram. Ashram means stoppage. So it like the life has four stoppage or four changeovers, right? So brahmacharya ashram, like from the age of 6 to 25, a person need to remain in brahmacharya ashram, and there he need not to think about the materialistic world. He need not to think about any luxury of life. He need not to think about any well-being. And in this time period, being you are a son of a king or you are the son of a beggar or son of a shudra, all of you are going to live together in the same Gurukul. You people would have heard the story of Krishna and Sudama. Krishna was the son of Nand, Baba Nand, and he was quite rich person, while Sudama was the son of a beggar. But still they were living together and they were doing same kind of work. So in Brahmacharya ashram, you need to understand that you have to face, if you are going to face the toughest situations of life, you should be mentally prepared for that. And you should not create haphazard if you are getting tough situations in life. Simple. And if you will do it properly and you will not think about materialistic world, you will attain dharma. Then at the age of 26, you will enter into grahast. Grahast, today also we use this term in the local North Indian belt especially. Ghar grahasthi basa lo, grahast jeevan shuru kar lo, grahast. Grahast means after marriage life, right? So once the person comes back from Gurukul at the age of 26, he will get married, right? And there were various kinds of marriages prevailing in this time period, including 8 types of marriages. It includes Brahma Vivah, Dev Vivah, Paisach Vivah, Ashur Vivah, Gandharv Vivah, but these are not important for you, right? Now, coming to there were 3 major aims of marriage, and these aims were Dharma, Praja, and Vrati. Dharma. What was dharma? There were certain kind of rituals which a Hindu or a Vedic person need to perform, right, during his life period. And these yajnas cannot be performed alone. So you need to get your spouse to perform those yajnas along with you. That was first thing. First major aim of marriage was dharma, performance of those yajnas, right? That's why we have seen that in Gurukuls, these people have Guru Matas, right? Who were the wife of the teacher. The second was praja. Praja means transferring your genes into next generation. Third one was Rati. I'm not sure how many of you are aware, but Rati is the wife of God Kamdev. He was the symbol of love and affection. So the third aim of marriage was satisfaction of sexual desire and to maintain balance in the society to prevent sex-related crime in the society. They have come up with the third aim of marriage as Rati. Right? Now, heading next, one, you are entering into the Grahastha ashram, right? Then you have to maintain earth. You have to earn sufficient money for the survival of you and your family members. You have to earn sufficient money for the survival of you and your family member, right? So that is called earth. Now, once you attain the age of 51, once you attain the age of 51, from from Grahasth, you will enter into Vanaprastha ashram. Now, this Vanaprastha concept is very interesting in itself. Like, let me tell you how does this whole Vanaprastha thing used to work and how does it was working. Now, let me tell you, I'll tell you a small story, right? To make you understand this thing. I used to live in a joint family, right? And like in the joint family of almost 80 people, 80, 90 people living together in the same house, right? So when I was a kid, so every day it was a fest for us. Like all the children are playing together, females are preparing meal for the whole family together, and it was that in fact because my grandfather there were five brothers, then my father they are five brothers, and then so on. Everyone have their families and kids. So out of these people, my grandfather, he was a very famous writer. He has written some of the books, and he has been awarded with various awards in Hindi language, right? And he was quite isolated person, and he was quite. I shouldn't use this thing because he has crossed rainbow. He's no more in this world. So may his soul rest in peace. So exactly what was happening, na, we people used to consider him as a very frustrated old person. जिसको बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में खूसट बुड्ढा. Pardon my language, but that is how we were having the image of that person in our mind. And what he used to do, like we used to have a room. In that room, he was having ample number of books, right? And he used to write those books, and he was always locked in his room, mostly, right? And then morning breakfast उनको टेबल पे मिल जाता था. उनके कमरे के बाहर रख दो, कोई आएगा ट्रे लेके वो अंदर ले जाएंगे, खाली करके रख देंगे. Same goes with lunch, same goes with evening tea, and same goes with dinner. बाहर रख दो, वो आएंगे उठा के अंदर ले जाएंगे, खाना खा के बाहर रख देंगे. ही लाइक सिंपली वो किसी से बात नहीं करते थे, ना बच्चों से बात करना, ना बड़ों से बात करना, एंड ही वाज वेरी आइसोलेटेड. बस हाँ उनका एक फिक्स रूटीन था कि ही यूज्ड टू गो फॉर अ इवनिंग वॉक, राइट? अभी ये स्टोरी अभी आपको समझ में आएगी क्यों इम्पोर्टेंट. ठीक है, तो मोस्टली ऐसा होता था कि वो अपने रूम को लॉक करके रखते थे. उनके रूम में केवल बुक्स ही बुक्स भरी थी, और हम लोग बच्चे थे तो कभी कभी उनका दरवाजा खुला रह जाता था, तो झांक के देखते थे. बच्चों में होती है क्यूरियोसिटी, तो झांक के देखते थे कि क्या है इस कमरे में. तो बहुत सारी ऐसी रैक्स लगी हुई है, बुक्स लगी हुई. तो एक दिन क्या होता है कि वो जो मेरे दादाजी हैं, वो इवनिंग वॉक पे जाते हैं, वो गलती से रूम को खुला छोड़. एंड हम लोग छोटे बच्चे थे, तो वी वर प्लेइंग हाइड एंड सीक. तो मैं क्या करता हूँ, मुझे लगता है कि यार ये रूम खुला है, इसमें छुप जाता हूँ, बहुत देर में ढूंढा जाऊंगा. उस टाइम पे तो यही होता था, हाइड एंड सीक खेल रहे हैं कि कितनी देर में जो है कोई ढूंढ पाएगा. तो मैं आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर इट वेरी मच क्लियरली. आई वाज वियरिंग येलो कलर टी शर्ट, और मैं उस रूम में एंटर हुआ. एंड आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर सेकंड शेल्फ के पीछे जाके मैं छुप गया. आई हैव हिडन माय सेल्फ. एंड मैं वेट करता रहा, वहां कोई आया ही नहीं मुझे ढूंढने. ठीक है, क्योंकि वो लॉक खुला हुआ था, तो मैं अंदर जाके छुप गया, कोई भी ढूंढने नहीं. थोड़ी देर बाद मैं उठा, मैं लगता चलो मैं बाहर निकलता हूँ, तो कोई नहीं ढूंढने आ गया, नहीं. और आई स्टूड अप, एंड माय टी शर्ट गॉट स्टक in that rack, and that rack was not embedded to earth. धड़ 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 करके 4 रैक नीचे गिरी, और एक रैक में करीब करीब 100-150 बुक्स असेंबल्ड, सारी बुक्स फैली, राइट। एंड ये देख के मेरी हालत खराब। हालांकि मुझे चोट नहीं लगी फॉर्चुनेटली, और मैं दौड़ के बाहर आया, आवाज हुई, सारे घर के लोग इकट्ठे हो गए, सबको वेट था दादाजी के आने का। कुछ लोग बढ़िया पॉपकॉर्न लेके तैयार हो गए कि आज तो बड़ा कलेश देखने को मिलेगा, क्योंकि दादाजी वैसे भी चिल्लाते ही रहते थे मोस्टली सब लोगों पे। And I got very scared, and I went in my room and I was lying in the bed, and then my grandfather came and he was like, "Who did this?" You know, very angry and aggressive voice. My grandmother went कि बच्चे से वो क्या है, छोड़ो। कौन? उन्होंने मुझे बोला कि छोड़ो, अब बच्चे हैं, हो जाता है। कौन से बच्चे से? तो शी हैजंट डिस्क्लोज्ड माय नेम। देन वहां से मेरी सिस्टर निकल गई थी, तो व्हाट ही डिड, मेरी एल्डर सिस्टर थी, उनका हाथ पकड़ा, बोला कौन था यहाँ पे? तो शी स्टेटेड, आई वाज आल्सो अ किड, शी वाज आल्सो अ किड, हमने कुछ किया दादू, तातू भैया किया है। मेरा घर का नाम लेते हुए एक उन्होंने किया है, तो मुझे बुलाया। उन्होंने मेरा हाथ पकड़ा और घसीट के मुझे उस कमरे में लेकर अंदर से बंद कर दिया, और उन्होंने मुझे पकड़ा और मैंने रोना चिल्लाना शुरू कर दिया, पहले पिटने के पहले। एंड एवरीवन आउटसाइड वाज वेटिंग कि अब क्या होने वाला है। अब यहाँ से पूरी कहानी में ना टर्न आएगा जो आपके लिए इंपॉर्टेंट। ही स्टेटेड टू मी, चुप रहो, रोगे नहीं। मैं बोला नहीं रो। आई वॉज स्टेटिंग टू हिम, मैं सारी किताबें जमा दूंगा, 1 घंटे में कर दूंगा, बस मुझे थोड़ा सा टाइम। 6-7 साल का बच्चा है, उसको तो ये लग रहा है मारना पड़े, बाकी सब कर दूंगा। तो ही स्टेटेड, ओके, आई नॉट पनिश यू, बट द कंडीशन इज पहले शांत रहो, दूसरा इन बुक्स को अरेंज करने में मेरी हेल्प। ओके, आई स्टार्टेड हेल्पिंग, एंड देन दैट वाज द फर्स्ट टाइम आई रिमेम्बर कि मेरा उनसे कोई फॉर्मल इंटरेक्शन। तो ही आस्क्ड मी कि तुम कौन सी क्लास में पढ़ते? सेकंड में पढ़ता हूँ, सेकंड क्लास में हूँ मैं। बोलते हैं कि मैं तुम्हें कैसा, आई वॉज ब्लंट ऑनेस्ट, जैसा सब लोग बोलते हैं कि आप खूसट दादू, गुस्सैल दादू। तो ही स्टार्टेड स्माइलिंग। क्योंकि और क्या बोलते हैं, अब वो मम्मी बोलती हैं कि जब देखो तब बस खाना बनवाता रहता है, बुढ़ा, इसको कोई काम नहीं है, ठीक है। एंड देन माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन एज अ इनोसेंट चाइल्ड, आप इतने खूसड़ क्यों, खड़ूस क्यों, इतने सड़ू क्यों? देन ही स्टेटेड टू मी कि आई एम फॉलोइंग वानप्रस्थ। As a 7-year-old child, I was confused. What is Vanprasth? He stated, I am living in family, but I am not the part of this family anymore. अगर मैं इस फैमिली से अटैच रहूंगा, तो जब मेरी डेथ होगी या जब मैं इस घर को छोड़ के जाऊंगा, इस फैमिली को बहुत दुख। आज सब लोग ईगरली वेट कर रहे हैं कि इंसान जाए। और वानप्रस्थ में क्या होता था, यू हैव टू, इट्स एम वाज काम। काम मींस गेटिंग फ्री फ्रॉम ऑल द डिजायर्स। और आप घर में ही रहो, यू विल लिव इन योर हाउस, बट यू विल लिव लाइक अ सेंट। आपको फैमिली से किसी से कोई लेना देना नहीं है, क्योंकि गृहस्थ के बाद डायरेक्टली आप किसी को संन्यास में नहीं भेज सकते कि आज वो अपनी फैमिली बच्चों के साथ है, अगले दिन उसको बोला चलो सामान उठाओ और जंगल चले जाओ। इट इज इम्पॉसिबल। तो वानप्रस्थ वॉज कि आप अपनी पूरी एनर्जी को चैनलाइज करो, कहां पे, जहां पे आपका मन लगता। इट कैन बी राइटिंग, डांसिंग, सिंगिंग, थिएटर, पेंटिंग, sculpture, architecture, anything you like, because that was quite well structured society format. It was like कि तुमने समाज के लिए जो करना था वो कर दिया। गृहस्थ आश्रम में रह के तुमने उतना पैसा कमाया, अपनी मम्मी पापा को, वाइफ को, इन लोगों को पालने के लिए पैसा कमा लिया। अब वानप्रस्थ में यू हैव टू फ्री, गेट फ्री फ्रॉम ऑल द डिजायर्स, और अपनी हॉबीज का काम करो, राइट। And once you attain the age of 75, then you have to get into the deep forest in sannyas ashram. And by that sannyas, you will attain moksha. Moksha means getting free from the cycle of birth and death. Because as per Vedic culture, there was a concept of rebirth. And if you want your soul to be connected with Supreme Soul, that is Atma ka Paramatma se milan, then you have to follow this. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanprastha, Sannyas. You have to maintain it in a well manner. So this was the structure of society at that time period. That was the social structure, right? So I hope all of you are clear with the structure of this society. Yes or no? Please just let me know so that I can proceed ahead. Is
Yes,
it
sir.
clear? Perfect. Perfect. Now, heading towards in this time period, how this whole things was working. In Vedic time period, the most probably the Aryans means, now this Aryan word is derived from the word Ari, which means evaders. Remember that Aryan people have their official language as Sanskrit. Sanskrit was their language, and that's how Sanskrit came in India from these Aryan people. Right? And as per famous German historian Max Muller, Aryans were belonging to the Central or Central East Asia. Right? Now, the word Aryan exactly means the highborn, but it refers to the language. Highborn evaders means the people who are supreme evaders. Right? The word Veda is derived from the word with, which means to know. Which means to know. Veda means to know. Right? There are four Vedas, out of which the oldest Veda is Rig Veda, which was written in early Vedic time period or Rig Vedic time period. This Rig Veda contains 1048 hymns. Hymns are like prayers, right? And this Rig Veda has defined the social structure of that time. Yajur Veda. This Veda used to deal with sacrifice and black magic, right? And let me tell you, some of the people still practice, even though it's illegal as per Indian Constitution and as per IPC, it is a punishable offense. But still, some people follow the concept of Yajur Veda, which deals with sacrifice and black magic. Sam Veda, it used to deal with music. The seven swaras, Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Dha, Ni, Sa, were originated by Samveda only, right? Then Atharva Veda. Atharva Veda used to deal with various medical and political structure of that time period, right? Now, the language of Vedas was quite complex. It was not understandable for the common people. So, to make it more understandable for common people, 18 Puranas were written. These Puranas were the explanatory book of Vedas, right? Out of which Shiv Puran, Vishnu Puran, Garuda Puran, Skanda Puran are prominent Puran, right? Now, in this time period, not only Vedas were written, but also the concept of Shruti and Smriti have emerged. Right? Vedas are collectively known as Shruti. Shruti means Shruti is a Hindi word for hearing. And Smriti. Smriti is the Hindi word for remembering. So there is no fixed writer of these Vedas. We cannot say that this person has written Vedas because these Vedas are the collection of knowledge which have been heard by the people and remembered. I heard something, I remembered it, and I passed it to the next generation. This is how Shruti and Smriti combination originated these Vedas. And later on, at later stage, these Vedas have been codified. Earlier, they were not in the codified format, right? The forefathers used to share it with their ancestors. Now, Vedants are collected. There are six Vedants, okay? And these six Vedants are Siksha, Kalp, Vyakaran, Nrutya, Chand, and Jyotish. Siksha deals with phonetics, Kalpa deals with rituals, Vyakaran deals with grammar, Nirukta deals with etymology, Chanda deals with metrics, and Jyotish deals with astronomy. So these were the 6 Vedants. Now, as I told you earlier, Rig Veda has 1028 hymns, right? And it was categorized in 10 mandalas or 10 chapters, right? Rig Vedic hymns sung by the priests. So these hymns were prayers which used to be sung by the people called Hotris. Hotris were those Brahmins who used to sing the prayers of Rig Veda. Now, Shruti literature belonged to Satyuga. Now, Shruti is the literature, like heard literature, it belongs to Satyuga. Smriti belongs to Treta Yuga. Treta Yuga, when Lord Rama came. Puranas belong to Dwapar Yuga, when Lord Krishna came. And last, Tantra. Tantra literature used to belong to Kali Yuga, right? Rig Veda starts with Agni Mele Purohita. This Rig Veda has defined various gods, including Indra. Indra was the most supreme god as per Rig Veda. It used to have Vayu Dev, Varun Dev. Deo was the god of sky. Vayu Dev was the god of wind. Varun Dev was the god of ocean. Indra was the god of rain and war. Rain and war. Remember, this question used to ask numerous times, right? And next, the famous Gayatri mantra. Om Bhurva Bhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. It's taken from Rig Veda. It was contained in Rig Veda. Now, another question that is Satyamev Jayate. This word is taken from Mundak Upanishad. Now, it comes up in our mind what is Upanishad and how does it work. So, we are going to talk about that. Basically, Upanishad is a Sanskrit word which means sitting next or sitting near. So, basically, there are total 108 Upanishads defining the social, economic, political, cultural life of that time period. These Upanishads were written by the students sitting near or sitting next to their teachers. So it was a sort of assignment or project submitted by the teachers to their, submitted by the students to their teachers, right? So that's why they are called Upanishads, right? Now, Yajurveda, as I told you earlier, it used to deal with sacrifice and rituals. Then uh, the Yajurvedic hymns are meant to be sung by the priest called Atharvayu, right? Now, Samveda, it used to deal with music. Atharvaveda, it used to deal with spells and incantations and numerous of singing prayers and some of the medical science. Now, heading next, let's talk about Upanishad. Right. So technically speaking, there were 108 Upanishads. Right. As I told you earlier, these Upanishads were written by the students in guidance of their teachers. So it is a philosophical book. Upanishads are known as Jantrakas in the word. The word Satyamev Jayate is taken from Mundak Upanishad. Why I am highlighting this thing because this question has been asked in the judicial exam of Madhya Pradesh in MPGK. That's how it becomes important for you. Next, Brahadrayan Upanishad was the first to give the doctrine of transmigration of soul and karma. So Brahadrayan Upanishad came up with the concept of migration of soul from one body to another body based on the principles of karma. Right? We used to use this dialogue that karma is like a language like bitch. So exactly what does it mean? Karma comes back. And how we have got this idea? This is from this Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Now, Puranas. Puranas are the part of Smriti. As I told you earlier, that Vedas were the part of Shruti, heard and codified. Puranas are the part of whatever part they remembered and codified. So these are the explanatory book of Vedas. There are 18 Puranas, 6 Vishnu Puranas, 6 Shiv Puranas, and 6 Brahman Puranas. Bhagavad Purana is divided into 18 skand and 10 Skandas mentioned about the childhood of Shri Krishna. Now, Bhagavad Puran, जिसको श्रीमद् भागवत पुराण बोलते हैं, जो लोग घर पे कराते हैं, right? Skand Puran is considered largest Brahma Puran, also known as Adi Puran. Skand Puran is known as Adi Puran. Now, in this Vedic time period, these people use the word Gavishti for war. Now, what is Gavishti? Finding the cows. Then the question should come into your mind, sir, what kind of relation the cows and cattle are having with war? So let me tell you, in this time period, the prime aim of war was to get more number of cattle, more number of livestock, cows, and the person who has more number of cows is considered more dominating person. Later on, it has switched on land. Earlier, the person who has more number of cows was considered more powerful, right? And that's the reason that the person who's having highest number of cows in a village is called Go, right? And Raja Nand was Go of Nandagaon, where Lord Shri Krishna spent his childhood. So this Gop was the person who's having maximum number of cows. And whenever they used to go for war, their prime object was to collect the live cattle of another person, right? Cattle was the chief measure of wealth. In the Vedic and Rigvedic tribe were referred as Janas. Many clans were formed a tribe. Now, their social structure was very simple. I'll tell you. This was the smallest unit of society was Kul. Right? Abhi 5, 10, 15 Kuls, when they combine together, they form some gram. When 5, 10, 15 grams combined together, they used to form a wish. When 5, 10 wish have formed together, they have formed Jan. And at the top, they were having Rash. Right? The head of Kul was Kulup or Kulpati. Kulup or Kulpati, which was the adult male member of the family. Then the head of Gram was Gramani. Gramani was one among those Kulups. Among those Kulups, one is appointed as Gramani. Wish head was Vishpati. He was the administrative tribunal. He was maintaining the administrative system of the arena. Next, Jan head was Rajan. You people would have heard the in the Ramayanas and Mahabharatas, these munis are saints are saying to the people like kings, hey Rajan, aisa karo, hey Rajan. So Rajan came from this. So the head of Jan or Mahajanpad was Rajan. And these Jans combining together forms Rashtra, which is having head as Rajan. So this was their social structure. Now, in this time period, the ruler was having two categories, Sabha and Samiti. Sabha was the assembly of common people who can advise to the ruler. And Samiti was assembly of special people who can rule or who can give advice to the ruler. Now, let me tell you what is the difference between Sabha and Samiti. Sabha is like Narendra Modi ji being honorable prime minister of the nation. हमारी बात सुने, हम क्या बोलेंगे, सर वो छत्तीसगढ़ सिविल जज के एग्जाम में 2 सब्जेक्ट कम करा दो, हमारी तो प्रॉब्लम यही है ना. सो वी आर सभा, वी आर कॉमन. एंड समिति, जब वही मोदी जी किसी बड़े फिलोसोफर से मिलेंगे, इकोनॉमिस्ट से मिलेंगे, तो दे विल थिंक अबाउट द वेलबीइंग ऑफ द नेशन कि इंडिया में ये पॉलिसी चेंजेस होने चाहिए, ये इकोनॉमिक चेंजेस होने चाहिए, पॉपकॉर्न पे टैक्स लगाओ ना लगाओ, इस चीज पे टैक्स जरूर लगना चाहिए, एंड सो राइट. So that is Sabha and Samiti. The ruler had to hear the voice of the people also. That is done by Sabha. And Samiti was the assembly of special people. Now, the Aganyas mentioned in many passages of Rig Veda applies to cow. Now, what is Aganya? Aganya is the value of a person which is calculated by the number of cows that person having. The more number of cows you are having, the more aganya you are having. Right? Now, there were some primitive gods of this time period. Indra was the greatest god. Agni was second. Varun was the god of water. Yama was the god of death. Savitri was the solar deity who has become famous for Gayatri mantra attributed to her. Prithvi was the goddess of earth. And the battle of 10 kings was mentioned in Rig Veda, and that battle was done for Gavish. Right? The people called Panis during the Vedic period, and these people were cattle breeders. They were not purely agriculturists, rather than they were cattle breeders. And that's why cattle and cows were having significant value. Vedic god in charge of truth and moral order was Varuna. Indra played the role of warlord and the god of rain. Right? Two priests who played a major part during Rig Veda were Vashta and Vishwamitra. ठीक है? वशिष्ठ और विश्वामित्र were the two famous priests. वशिष्ठ and विश्वामित्र, जिनको हम वशिष्ठ और विश्वामित्र भी बोलते हैं. Right? I hope this thing is clear to all of you. Yes or no? Please just give me a thumbs up so that I can move ahead. Chal. Now, in the later Vedic period assigned to later Vedic time period of 1000 to 600 BC. Later Vedic people used to particularly rely on pottery called painted grey ware. Right? The later Vedic Aryans were familiar to two seas, Arabian Seas and Indian Ocean. And this was the time period when other three Vedas, Yajurveda, Samveda, and Atharvaveda were written. Okay? Now these people have started switching on agriculture rather than cattle breeding. Rice became the staple diet of Indian people during the later Vedic period. The term Rashtra, which indicates the territory, first appeared in the later Vedic period. We have already discussed this thing. Earlier, they were having Kul, Gram, Vish, Jan, not the concept of Rashtra. But in later Vedic period, Jans combined themselves together, various tribes combined themselves together and formed Rashtra. Okay? The word Shudras were found in the 10th mandala of Rig Veda. Okay? They have also came up with the concept of Gotras, like being a Hindu, you people will also have some Gotra, right? The origination of kingship is found in Athray. Athray is another Brahmanika that is written by Brahmin, which gives the concept of kingship. Som was intoxicating liquor. Som means in Hindi or in Sanskrit, Som means nectar, amrit. But Som was liquor, right? Intoxicating drink which gives pleasure to your mind was considered equivalent to nectar, right? So that was amrit. Now, mention of the word varna is found in Rig Veda. As I told you earlier, there were four varnas: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. The fourfold division of the society is found in the 10th mandal of Rig Veda. Mention about Varna Shastra Dharma is found in the Jabala Upanishad. Now, this Jabala Upanishad also written in the area of Chhattisgarh. So this question is important. Chhattisgarhi people have written one Upanishad named as Jabala Upanishad. Now, the doctrine of Trimurti is found in the Maitreyi Upanishad. Trimurti means Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. So first time the concept of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh has been introduced in Indian or Vedic culture by Maitreyi Upanishad. Right? Now, mention about the origination of universe is found in Rig Veda. Purohit, Senani, and Vajrapati were the important functionary who used to help the king in day-to-day administration performance. Right. Now, the officer who enjoyed authority over the pasture land is called Vajrapati. This is important. So, the officer who used to collect tax on pasture land and maintain pasture land because pasture land was very much important. They were relying on cattle, and cattle were relying on pasture lands like cows, oxen, sheep, goats. They were relying on pasture lands. So pasture land was very important. So its administrative officer is called Vajrapati. The king's power is increased during later Vedic period. First lawgiver of the ancient India was Manu, who written Manu Smriti. Right? Manu Smriti is the first law book of India. Officially, we can say. Shyama Shastri translated Arthashastra into English, doesn't matter. Bali was a tax which used to collect by the king from the people of Vedic period. So Bali was a particular share in crop. Particular share in crop was collected by king in form of a tax. The god who occupied supreme position in the later Vedic period time period was Prajapati. Prajapati means the god of people. So Indra's position has been switched, and now Prajapati became the god of common people. The most important functionary who assisted Vedic king was Purohita. Purohita used to perform all yagyas and all, so they were having quite respectable position. Now next, monarchy was normal like form of government during the Vedic period. So in Vedic period, monarch were there. Now, all of you are clear with early Vedic and later Vedic? Please just let me know. Give me a thumbs up so that I can move ahead. Perfect. Now, Magad Empire. You people might feel that I am going a bit fast, but let me tell you, these things are not very much important for your exam point of view. That's why I am covering it in a speedy manner. We don't have to devote much time on this, right? Heading towards Magad Empire, right? Magad Empire originated in the 16th century before Christ, right? And there originated 16 Mahajanpadas in North India. I was telling you about 16 Mahajanpadas, जिनमें से गांधार एक था, which was the area of Afghanistan. पांचाल एक था, right? वज्जी, then आपका अंगा, अंग का जो अंगराज कर्ण था, ठीक है, देन कौशल जहां के भगवान राम थे, देन मथुरा जहां से भगवान कृष्ण थे। तो ये सारे महाजनपद, आज 16 महाजनपद, ठीक है। लेकिन लेटर ऑन ये जनपदास डिमिनिश होते गए और केवल 4 महाजनपदास बचे आउट ऑफ दी 16, और बाद में वो भी डिमिनिश हो गए, केवल एक बचा है, दैट वाज मगधा, ठीक है। मगधा वाज द महाजनपद which remained till last. Right. So four prominent royal dynasties stand out prominently in these Janpadas. These were Haryaks of Magda, Ikshvaku of Kaushal. Ikshvaku वंश के ही राजा थे, राजा राम. Lord Ram was from Ikshvaku वंश itself. ठीक है. The Pauravas of Vats and the Dyots of Avanti. Avanti was the area of Ujjain. Right. ये मैं आपको बता देता हूँ. मगध was the area of Bihar. Ikshvaku was the area of Ayodhya. Vats was the area of Rajasthan. And Avanti was the area of Ujjain. Out of this, at last, Haryak dynasty's people of Magad Empire survived. Okay? Haryak dynasty was formed by Bimbisar. Bimbisar by defeating last ruler of Anga dynasty, Brahmadatta. अंगा डायनेस्टी लास्ट बची थी, अंगा एंड मगधा दो लास्ट बचे थे। अंगा डायनेस्टी के रूलर ब्रह्मदत्त को डिफीट करके फाइनली अंगा को अपने अंदर लेके मगधा एम्पायर को स्टैब्लिश किया। किसने? बिंबिसार ने, सॉरी हर्यक डायनेस्टी को स्टैब्लिश किया इन द एरिया ऑफ मगधा, राइट। नाउ बिंबिसार फाउंडेड दिस by defeating Brahmadatta, as I told you earlier. Now Magadha became the supreme power in the northern India under Ajat Shatru. So Ajat Shatru is considered the founder of Magadhan supremacy. Patliputra and Rajgira were the capital of Magadha kingdom. Both of these cities are in Bihar at present. It was the time period when Nalanda and Takshila universities were there. Nalanda was in Bihar while Takshila was in Pakistan. Right? Now, Magadha falls in Patna region of Bihar. Her wrecks were overthrown by Shishunag and he founded Shishunag dynasty there. Kausala, the son and successor of Shishunag, was succeeded by Mahapadma Nanda and founded Nanda dynasty. So Harryx के बाद शिशुनाग डायनेस्टी के बाद नंदा डायनेस्टी. These are the three dynasties. ठीक है? Now, next talking about Persian invasion. In the same time period when these dynasties were succeeding, the king of Persia, Armenian king of Persia, Darius, captured some territory of East in Sindh. Means, if I'll talk about here, this area, this was India, right? And this area was captured by Persian people. Okay? The Persian dominance over Indian territory lasted up to 320 BCE. Xerxes was the Persian ruler who enlisted Indian in his army. So there was a Persian ruler named as Xerxes. That particular Persian ruler has given place to Indian people in his army as soldiers of his army. Next, coming to Alexander's invasion. Now, Alexander was born, that is not important, in 536 BC. He was the son, he was the king of Macedonia. That is important. Now, Euphrates or Olympias was Alexander's mother, right? Aristotle was Alexander's teacher and he became the king in 336 BCE, defeating Persian ruler Darius III, right? And Alexander founded the city of Alexandria in Egypt. Now, Alexander ruled in the area of Punjab also and Takshila also. So, means he has ruled over the area of Sindh, over the area of Pakistan, Baluchistan, Afghanistan, Kandahar, Kabul, and Punjab. So, he reached till Jhelum River on the bank of river Jhelum. ठीक है. Ambi, the ruler of Takshila, invaded Alexander to India. Alexander died due to malaria at the age of 33 in Babylon, so his army returned back, right? And Alexander was cremated in Alexandria. That is not important for us. But after the death of Alexander, his two soldiers, his two commander-in-chief, divided the territory of Alexander into two parts. And that is important because the person who has got the area of Punjab, Takshila, he decided Seleucus. Seleucus was the name of that person. He decided to head towards India, to enter into the territory of India and to continue with the invasion mission of Alexander. But he was stopped by Chandragupta Maurya. Now, the founder of Mauryan dynasty was Chandragupta Maurya, right? And his teacher was Chanakya. His original name was Vishnugupta, but since he was very clever, so he is known as Chanakya or Kautilya. This is the same person, Kautilya, Chanakya or Vishnugupta, right? So he taught Chandragupta Maurya and helped him to succeed in various invasions. He was the founder of Mauryan Empire, right? Now, his mother's name was Mura. She was a woman of lower birth, right? So that's how he got his name Maurya. He conspired with Chanakya, the minister of Nanda, to overthrow the last ruler of Nanda dynasty, Dhanananda. And that's how Chandragupta Maurya sat on the throne in 621 BCE. Then he fought against Seleucus in 305 BC. Seleucus surrendered before him and sent an ambassador, Megasthenes, in the court of Chandragupta Maurya. Now here you have to remember Megasthenes written a book called Indica, which defines the contemporary India of that time period, right? Chandragupta's governor Pushyamitra constructed the famous Sudarshan Lake, right? Sudarshan Lake of Chhattisgarh. Chandragupta governor Pushyagupta formed this lake, Sudarshan Lake. Chandragupta Maurya was converted to Jainism and died in Shravanbelgola in Karnataka near Mysore in 298 BC. Right? Now his son Bindusar, his son was Bindusar, and Bindusar doesn't have any significant role, but Bindusar's son was Ashoka. So Ashoka was the grandson of Chandragupta Maurya. Ashoka is important for us, but we'll talk about Ashoka in the next class. Today, let's have some questions, and then we can stop here for the day. Shall we start with the question? Please just let me know. Yes. Okay. First question. In ancient Chhattisgarh, in ancient time, Chhattisgarh is known as. What is the
Dakshin
correct answer?
Koshala.
Dakshin
Dakshin
Koshala.
Koshala.
Dakshin Koshala. Very good. Next. Which of the following dynasty ruled over Chhattisgarh between 6th to 12th century? 6th to 12th century. Which
D.
dynasty ruled?
D.
Yes.
Haryanka.
D. Delhi.
Haryaks. Haryaks. Very good. Which Veda is considered the oldest Veda?
C.
C.
Rig
Veda.
Veda.
Rig Veda. Very good. Next. What is the meaning of the word Veda?
So knowledge.
Knowledge. To know. Knowledge. Very good. Next. I have discussed this thing, right? That the word
Yes.
Veda means to know, knowledge. Now, next question. Which Upanishad is known for the doctrine of transmigration of soul and karma?
So B.
B.
B. Bangalore.
Yes. 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 Brahadra Narayan Upanishad. Which Vedic god is considered greatest? Who was
Indra.
the supreme god? Who was the supreme god?
Sir,
Yes.
B. Indra.
Indra.
Yes, Indra. Very good. Who? Which dynasty founded by Bimbisara ruled Magad?
Maurya.
Maurya.
Bimbisara, not Chandragupta Maurya. Which dynasty was
Shishmala.
founded by
Sir,
Bimbisara?
Sheesh.
Yes, yes, there is some confusion. क्या होना चाहिए इसका correct answer? Tell me.
So
हालांकि
Shishmala.
remaining questions are from that what we call जो next class है उससे related next question. But what should be the correct answer of this? Yes,
So Shishunag.
it's Haryak.
Sir, Bimbisar was the founder of Haryak dynasty.
Bimbisar was the founder of Haryak dynasty, na? Yes. Is it clear? Yes or no? Bimbisar was the founder of Haryak dynasty we have studied. Right. So, do you people have any question or shall we stop here for the day?
Sir, if you could
Any questions?
explain the first 2-3 lines of the PDF again.
Explain first 2-3 lines of PDF for sure. Just
The very first PDF.
these few lines you want me to explain?
Yes, sir.
So, in the ancient time period, Chhattisgarh was known as Dakshin Koshala, right? Why it is known as Dakshin Koshala? Because it was in the southern of Koshala. Koshala was the area of Ayodhya, where Lord Rama ruled. Now, Chhattisgarh also finds its mentioning on the name of Dakshin Koshala in Ramayana and Mahabharata.
So, sir, the
Between
name
6
was Dakshin Koshala of Chhattisgarh?
Yep, its name was
Okay.
Dakshin Koshala.
Okay.
Yes. Now, between 6th to 12th century, because let me tell you, Chhattisgarh was not having any distinct identity, right? So the area which was towards the southern of Kaushala, Out of 16 Mahajanpadas, one was Kaushala. So the area which was towards southern of Kaushala was considered Dakshin Kaushala,
Okay.
right? Now, between 6th to 12th century, here numerous of dynasties have ruled. We have discussed Kalchuri, Nagvanshi, Somvanshi, Padmanabhanshi, Shavapuris, right? Bastar region of Chhattisgarh was invaded by Rajendra Chola I and Kulothunga Chola I of Chola dynasty in 11th century. Right? This is what we have discussed.
Okay.
Malvi, right?
Yes.
Malvi, do you have any other question?
No, sir.
Okay. So that is it for the day, guys. Yes. Shall we stop here for the day?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ma'am, may we please wrap the session for the day? I think ma'am is not available. Okay, people. Thank you so much, people. You people can leave.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
We'll see you tomorrow.